have control. Breach in 5, 4, 3.
What's up, guys? I'm Uncle Freedom, coming to you on another glorious and well-deserved day off. I've been up since I went to work yesterday at some point because I'm on night shift. And today we're going to talk about a rifle light. Not just any rifle light, probably one of the best deals you're going to find right now at this time as this video is being filmed. So if that sounds cool and interesting to you, go ahead, like, subscribe, tell a friend. If you're wanting to get in touch with me, it's at Uncle Freedom 213 on Facebook or Instagram, or Uncle Freedom 213 at Outlook.com. So for those of you that have been following anything, I am a low light aficionado. I really like the whole deal of fighting in the dark using light. Yes, night vision has its place, but for most things, including law enforcement, a flashlight's where it's at. And some time ago, you know, the ability to mount said light to a weapons platform became a thing, and we realized it was way better. So in the big realm of flashlights, you have, for the longest time, you really had two companies. You had Streamlight, you had Surefire. And then now we have newer companies, you know, Arasaka, Modlight, Malkoff, Cloud. And some of those lights are freaking incredible. But there's always still been those two lights. And I have the Modlight PL350. Some of you have seen it. I have Streamlight lights. I have Surefire lights. You know, I'm just a fan of light. Like I have the X300 Turbo here, but that's not what we're going to talk about. So one of the things Streamlight seems to do consistently is they will usually, depending on the lights you pick, or I should say in selective light cases, they punch way above their weight. A great example of that is this guy. So the Streamlight TLR1HL. This was a duty light for me over 2 years, about 6,000 or 7,000 rounds, no problems. Now, I know a lot of people are like, yeah, but you know, Surefire is better. Well, so here's the deal. Now, I would agree if we talk about the turbo, yeah. But we look at something like this guy. This is the Surefire X300 Ultra, so the U-boat. This light is incredibly well made. Two CR123s. I have pushing straight in, momentary on, and then a really rough click up and down for constant on until those switches get broken. This is a newer one. But this was kind of where you were at, and this was the benchmark, 1,000 lumens. However, Streamlight also had 1,000 lumens. The difference between these two lights really is this is about 14,000 or 11,000 lumens. This is 20,000 lumens. And the other thing is this is 130 and this is 330. Yeah. So we can buy multiples of these and lots of batteries and still be able to actually defeat the output and throw of the 300 Ultra. So does that mean the Surefire light's bad? No, it's an excellent light. But I will say that Streamlight has some of the best, most intuitive switches on the market. You have a fantastic momentary on. You have really smooth constant on, secure lockup, durable light. But then we move over to rifle lights. And rifle lights are kind of a different game. So a rifle shoots further. So one of the names of the game when we talk about rifle lights is candela, which is the ability for that light to be thrown at a distance, the intensity at a distance. And for the longest time, Surefire kind of ran that game. Think back to the old military contracts with incandescent bulbs, the original LEDs. And now, you know, we moved into the Surefire Scouts, which were kind of the standard. Their footprint, the mounting, everything was right. The tape switches were good. And then Streamlight came out with theirs. And you had the original HLX, which was good. And for the money, was comparable to the output of the Surefire. Now, as things have evolved and we've moved on to what we have now we're talking about lights like the Cloud Defensive Rain 3.0. If you can get one that doesn't flicker with 100,000 candela and like I think it's 1,300 lumens or 1,500 lumens. And then you move over to something like the new like mod light. Now we're talking like 669 lumens, but like 69,000 candela. And that was kind of the king for the longest time. And then Surefire upped their game and they came out with the 600 turbo. That thing's got 100,000 candela and it's a monster. It's a fantastic light. Here's the problem with Surefire. Now, I love Surefire, as evidenced. I have multiples. Here's the problem, though. So if I were to buy this Surefire turbo, I'm looking about 340-ish for the light itself. Then I'm going to have to pick the tail cap I want. So let's say I wanted a dual function tail cap where I had the plug-in and a switch in case my pressure pad died. That's well over $100. Now the pressure pads somewhere between $80 and like $120 depending on the company you buy it from. The mounts are pretty good, but when you actually build one of these out from start to finish, it is very easy to spend $450 to $500 on a rifle light. That is not feasible for most people. And honestly, if you're outfitting a ton of different guns with lights, it's not really a practical option. And then you had like Streamlight had kind of the last generation of the HLX was 1,000 lumens, which was plenty bright, but it had 25,000 candela. So it had some pretty good throw, but we were talking about throw that was on par with the TLR1HL. So if I have pistol capacity at 20,000 candela, I really expect more than that out of my rifle light. But we've been playing that game. And a few years ago, Streamlight released their newest version of the rifle light, and it was the ProTac 2.0. Now, the problem with the ProTac 2.0, I mean, they're chunky, but it was 2,000 lumens at like 12,000 candela. So it was all the light, but it was like all the light right in front of you. And then recently I heard about the new Streamlight HLX, which is a fantastic rifle light, Pro, which immediately got my attention because it had some upgraded options, things that were different. So if we talk about that light itself, this is the light you get when you order the HLX Pro. So you see we've got a rather chunky rear end. It's kind of a fat light, but one of the things we have is now, instead of the original version where the old tail cap for this thing had a hard wire to it, it was a pain in the ass to unscrew, screw back in. It wasn't durable. It had problems. This guy actually has a plug on it, so we can plug in the pressure pad and replace it. And I have secondary. I haven't turned this one off. This is brand new. The secondary for being able to activate this without having the pressure pad. So we're already off to a good start. So I have dual function tail cap. It's just a little chunky. Comes set up like this with the pick rail mount piece. But this functions off of the Surefire Scout mounting platform. So all of your favorite RSACA stuff, the light bars, what have you, they all mount in so you can run this off of M-Lock. Cool light. Now it comes factory set up at 1,000 lumens and then strobe. Now it's 10 tap. So if we do the 10 tap function on this guy, I'll do it at me so you can see it. I would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold it down until it turns off. And now this is only high, which is how I run my rifle lights. So when you get this guy, it comes in its standard plastic box. This guy right here. It comes with the BE26 battery. My concern was because it looks so chunky. When I saw these, I was like, oh God, it's a 21700 battery. It's not. It's an 18650, but it's Streamlight's proprietary 18650, which means it's a very long light or a long battery, but it's micro USB rechargeable. So this will come with the charging cable for the new battery. And then you will get inside of your box of stuff, you have your charging cable for your battery. You have some mounting stuff for your pressure pads. So you will actually have like the 3M double-sided tape and the pick rail things that Streamlight's always used for their stuff. You get a couple of Allen wrenches to change the bracket out. And this guy comes additionally with your M-Lock mount. All your screws and stuff that you would need to mount this to the light and change that out, plus the M-Lock mount itself, which is already an improvement over the other version. So when we actually play with this thing, in theory, kind of what we're looking at is we are looking at a rifle light with 50,000 candela, which is ultra usable. It is great indoors. It's actually good outdoors. I could easily get, I could go out and identify targets on our range at over 100 yards with it. It's got enough candela and enough horsepower to punch through photonic barriers, low pressure sodium lights, fog. I'll roll in a picture somewhere over here of this light actually being shined out at the thing versus the old one. I'll try to put them both side by side. So the other problem we had with the older version of the light was that pressure pad was terrible, and it was also incredibly fragile. So hence the new one. So I picked these up. I have multiples of these now. And one of them I mounted was on this short version here. So we see here on this guy, we have this. I've got it done on the M-LOK mount here. Pressure pad are the 2-button switch, so I can actually activate with my finger, or I can unplug this pressure pad, which is the other big thing. So we changed the pressure pad completely. We no longer have that stupid constant on button that we had on the old ones, but we just have a standard momentary with a plug-in for the light. So that means if I damage this pad, I can literally unplug it and replace the pad for like 20 bucks. And if I have a problem while I'm doing something, I can actually reach up and then connect with the rear cap on this guy and actually run it. Same thing with the pressure pad. So what I will say is, you can see I've got mine mounted up on the pick rail piece at the top. Good little view down there. But this is awesome. The cables are a little long, though Streamlight's mounting solution for the pressure pad does actually have cable management. I just tuck mine under my Bubba tab from Wiseman Company for sling retention. But all in all, this little guy right here is fan-freaking-tastic. I mean, yeah, it's kind of chunky. It's not as slick looking. It's not a Surefire Turbo. It's not a Cloud. It's not a Mod Light. But if you just needed a light, like if we were going to put a solid quality light on your home defense rifle, your range rifle, your recce rifle, recce is an action, not a descriptor. Food for thought. But you could set a rifle up with this light, be very capable. And here's the best part. The company I'm going to tell you about is not an affiliate of the channel, but it's called Flashlight Distributor. I highly recommend, if you're in the market for a new weapon mounted light, such as the Streamlight ProTac Rail Mount HLX Pro with the USB rechargeable 18650 battery, I would tell you to get on Flashlight Distributors, and you would find this very light package with all of the stuff I've shown for $119 shipped to your home. That's right. The newest version of their light for roughly the same price as the old version of the HLX when you can find it. The old version is 1,000 lumens at about 20 to 25,000 candela. It's very similar to this for the capability, but it was a rifle light with a pressure pad. But again, let that sink in. Right now, Flashlight Distributors, as I film this, so this would be Sunday, February 11th at 12:16 p.m. This light is available, Flashlight Distributors, $119 shipped to your door. So for $119, you're getting a 1,000 lumen, 50,000 candela, dual function tail cap with pressure pad and all of your mounting solutions and the battery for literally the same cost as the Surefire dual tail cap. I will say they have fixed some of the issues. This light here has about 1,800 rounds on it to this point. I have noticed zero flickering under recoil, zero flickering with the pressure pad. The pressure pad feels much more tactile when you turn it on, unlike the old one. The old one, it was kind of, it felt mushy and you weren't really sure. It didn't feel like you were getting good contact. There's zero doubt. Like it is a very crisp, like you feel it connect and turn on. Like I said, for 120 bucks, you're not doing better than this. And if you can buy something this good for $120 in the world we live in today, there is no reason to buy a cheaper off-branded flashlight, because this Streamlight HLX Pro with batteries, pressure pads, mounting solutions, dual function tail cap is $119 and some change, free shipping to your door. That is fantastic. That is an amazing deal. I am not worried about you buying them all out so I can't get any more. I have bought an embarrassing amount of these lights because, again, if you're going to deck out a whole bunch of rifles, this is a really solid solution to deck out a whole bunch of rifles. You would be perfectly fine running this light at a low light class. Just trust me, I've taken low light classes with the original HLX. My patrol rifle, though it worked, those of you that remember the video from the patrol rifle, the surprising workhorse that I carry, has the HLX laser in it. Same thing, 25,000 candela, 1,000 lumens. It's just got a laser that I don't use because I have a red dot, so I don't use the laser. But it has the same problems. The pressure pad's an issue on it. It's got the really terrible rear cap with the hardwired in pressure pad. But I've taken low light classes with that light. I've been through the academy with that light. I've carried that thing on duty. It still works. It still does what it's supposed to do. So that is a well-balanced solution to a problem that many people are having, which is in a world of $400 flashlights and believing you have to spend that much just to have a capability. Stuff like this from people like Flashlight Distributors, again, not a sponsor, no joke. I'm just telling you where to go get the best deal. For $120 basically, shipped to your door with no tax, a dual tail capped, replaceable pressure pad with pressure pad, 2 mounting solutions, 1,000 lumen, 50 candela, 1,000 candela light. That is amazing. They are a little chunky, I'll give them that, but they are freaking awesome. So, guys, there you go. Food for thought, something fun today. Go check these guys out. I don't think you'll be sorry. I've been really, really impressed. Like I said, I was really impressed, and then I was so impressed I bought another. And then I was so impressed that I bought another, and this thing was still working that I bought another. And then again, I was so impressed yet again. And I was like, man, I need one for this one. I bought like 3 more. So get after it, guys. Like I said, $119. That is a smoking deal. No regrets at all. And it is an excellent solution, especially for that Minutemen rifle, that Minutemen on a budget that really needs solid light capability on their long gun, but doesn't have the $400 that it's going to cost you to get into Cloud, a Surefire, Arisaka, or Mod Light. This is proof positive you don't have to spend a fortune to get a freaking solid light. And it goes without saying, Streamlight's warranty is amazing. I've had to use it. But then again, I have things like this that I've had for years and years and years, and it's been dropped in a pool and run over by a lawnmower, and it's still working just fine. So guys, food for thought, cool product of the day. Figured I would just make a video on this because it's such a good deal, and it's a phenomenal option for those of you looking. I am Uncle Freedom. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Till next time, I'll see you later.